Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Flyers Cup Selection Show. Great to have you along with us here on the Flyers Cup YouTube channel, sponsored by Top Shelf Sports and Apparel. With Flyers Cup President Eric Ty, my name is Mike Samsel. The 45th annual Flyers Cup Tournament. This is a big one this year, Eric.
45. Who can believe it? This will be the 45th time these trophies here in front of us get raised up, minus that one year that we try to forget about. But look, this is the best night of the year as far as I'm concerned. Everyone gets to find out who's in, who's out, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, we'll be taking a look at the brackets coming up in just a little bit. But first, want to remind you, as it's been the past couple of years, every single Flyers Cup game is broadcast live, courtesy of the SFBN on the Flyers Cup YouTube channel, sponsored by Top Shelf Sports and Apparel, a great new partner that we have with us this year.
They've been awesome. Top Shelf will be, like you said, they're the sponsor of the YouTube channel, so we can show the games for free on the YouTube channel. But they're also the sole exclusive, whatever word you want to use there, provider of all the Flyers Cup merch that will be on sale this year. We're going to show some of that stuff a little later, some of the samples we have. And then that store opens tonight at 9 p.m. So right after the show's done, you can go on the Flyers Cup website and click on the merchandise, and everything that's for sale will be there. And unlike past years, Mike, where people would place your orders, it would take weeks, maybe months to get your stuff. You'll get your stuff within 6 to 9 days now. So it's possible that if you order your stuff tonight, you can have it before your team plays their first Flyers Cup game in the next week or so.
That's tremendous. Cannot wait. And again, thanks so much to Top Shelf Sports and Apparel. Looking at the tournament this year, Eric, down this year, 41 teams instead of 50. So let's start there. What went into that decision?
Well, the first thing is no New Jersey, Delaware bracket.
Mm-hmm.
There just weren't enough pure teams over there to have that bracket. Two of the Jersey, Delaware teams are in consideration to be part of either the AA PA side or the AAA PA side. We'll find out shortly if they got in. And then there's just the quality. You know, we can't put teams in just to make it a 16-team bracket or make it a 14-team bracket. We need to make sure we have competitive games. So instead of a 16 bracket, it might be a 12 or a 14-team bracket. Instead of 8, it might be 5 or 6. So yeah, last year we had 50 teams. This year, like you just said, 41. But I think it's going to be the best tournament we've had in a while.
Yeah, that desire for quality is what makes this the best high school tournament in the country. And so, like you said, that decision down from 50 to 41 teams this year. And the state championship is on the eastern side of the state this year as well. We're going to be at a new area, if you will, new arena for the state championship game.
New for the state championship, but not new for the Flyers Cup.
Sure.
So the PA boys, AAA, AA, single A winners were all advanced to the state championships on Saturday, March 23rd, this year at the Stadium in Haverford, PA. The Stadium, I mean, back when I was playing back 20, 30 years ago, Flyers Cup, all Flyers Cup games were played in the Stadium.
Yeah.
Right. So now, because of conflicts and with other rinks, we're going back to the Stadium, and it's going to be an awesome venue to have the state championships.
As the hockey players like to say, it's an awesome barn to play in. And Eric, it's the 50th year of Stadium as well. First time they've hosted the state championship game since 2001.
Yeah. Wow, 50 years, that building. That's even more special, right? The state championships at the Stadium on our 50th year, 45th year of the Flyers Cup. People don't need to worry. Like, we see the social media posts of, like, how we're going to park. Look, when the time comes, we'll tell everyone how it's going to work. It's all under control. It's going to be a great day. Be 3 great hockey games, and, you know, obviously we want the East to win all 3 of them.
Yeah, we'll have those games for you as well here on the Flyers Cup YouTube channel, sponsored by Top Shelf Sports and Apparel. And Eric, it seems like this job never gets easier, right? There's parity, there's chaos. I mean, games were going to overtime Friday night. This year was not easy.
No, and like we said earlier, the number of teams is down, right? So when you see certain brackets, people are going to say, look, hey, anyone seeded 1 through 5 or 6 has a legit chance of winning this thing. And
Yeah.
It was debatable on who the number 1 seeds were in some brackets.
Mm-hmm.
This thing went to the last minute again. I think it did last year too.
Yeah.
But Friday night, we're waiting for games to end, and games are going into overtime, and it just drags the process on. But I'm confident we got it right. It's going to be an awesome tournament.
Well, that's one of the things you say as president of this tournament as well is, hey, you like chaos.
Oh, I want chaos. I love chaos as long as it's controlled.
Right. As long as it's within the game.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a 12 seed beating a 5 seed?
Sure, yeah.
It happens in the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago, we had a 15 beat a 2. I don't know if we ever had a 16 beat a 1. They're telling me over here on the side we have had a 16 beat a 1. So that's it's going to be a lot of fun when we release these brackets here in a few minutes. People will see what's going on. This is going to be a great tournament this year. Yeah,
and you talk about those seeds and how evenly this tournament, is seeded, can be hard to seed. Just talk to us a little bit about, just that difficulty of picking what team goes where in the bracket.
Yeah, obviously we follow the teams all year. Their league schedules are what we watch, the league games that they play. Some of the leagues, the A teams play the double A teams, and some of the leagues it's just double A versus double A. So it makes it hard, right? So if you have a team playing all A teams but they're double A eligible, it's hard to get a read on how they'll perform if you put them in. So that's an issue. And then I'm trying to be politically correct here, Mike.
Always a challenge, I know.
We try to make sure that in the first round games that teams who play during the regular season don't play in the first round of the Flyers Cup.
Right.
Like, we want uncommon opponents.
Sure.
After that, all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But is there a little bit of finagling? Is there maybe flip-flopping a 12 and an 11 seed to get that? Yeah. Is it flip-flopping an 8 seed with a 13 seed to get it? No, that doesn't happen. It's
right.
Always one spot here or there, but it's in the best interest of everyone. You don't want teams who've played each other twice in the regular season, then maybe once in their league playoffs, playing again in the first round of the Flyers Cup. Yeah. So it's like a big puzzle, right?
Mm-hmm.
We fitting all the pieces in where we need to.
You're watching the Flyers Cup YouTube channel, sponsored by Top Shelf Sports and Apparel with Eric Ty. I am Mike Samsel, and when we come back here on the Flyers Cup Selection Show, we're going to have a special guest join the program. But first, Eric, let's take a look at some of that great gear that Top Shelf Sports and Apparel are offering this year.
Yeah, let's do it.
Check out the Flyers Cup store. Live now on the website, flyerscup.org. Sweatpants, shorts, sleepers, hoodies, packs, toiletry bags, backpacks, coffee mugs, hoodies, quarter zips, and even take a look at the sublimated inside of that Flyers Cup hoodie. That, along with the blanket that you saw at the center of our set throughout the show, is available to be customized as well. For more information, be sure to check out the merch section at theflyerscup.org.
All right, everyone, welcome back. I'm joined now by Downingtown West girls forward Ava Thomas. Ava, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So, have you done anything cool recently? Don't answer that. We'll get to that later. So, you're a current junior at Downingtown West, correct?
Correct.
So, this year will be your 4th Flyers Cup.
Correct.
So the first 3 years that you've played in the Flyers Cup, Miss Ava, as soon as I find my notes here, you've won the Flyers Cup twice in 2021 and 2023. You've been the MVP of the Flyers Cup in 2021 and 2023. And you've been the leading scorer in the Flyers Cup in 2021, 2022, and 2023. Is that all correct?
Correct.
And you possibly can play one more year after this, too. The girls will be able to play 5 years.
Yes.
Has it dawned on you that you're going to be the greatest girls player to ever play in the Flyers Cup?
I mean, it's definitely a really cool experience. But yeah, being able to have another whole year is just exciting for me and for the other girls on the team.
Awesome. So, do you get a sense of pride when you play for Downtown West winning the Flyers Cup? Is it like, do you feel different? Like, is it different walking around the school, like knowing that you did it for the high school?
Yeah, I definitely think like seeing the girls in the hallways like a big like puts a smile on my face because like I don't think that we're ever like a powerhouse team. I think we're always like some girls picked up the stick a year ago and just learned to play, and I just think it's definitely a cool experience for them, and just to be able to kind of win it for them is something that I pride myself on.
And would you just say, hop on my back, here we go?
No, I try and encourage them as much as possible, and it kind of goes both ways. Like they're definitely happy for me, and I'm happy for them. So.
Well, I'm going to beg to differ with that in 1 minute, but we're going to talk about something else first. The first time you got to lift the Flyers Cup, and then the second time, is it a cool feeling, like to just lift it like you won, you get to hold it over your head?
Yeah. When I won, first time I was 14, so that was kind of the biggest accomplishment.
Hold on. You've done all this stuff, and you don't even have a driver's license yet, do you?
I do.
Oh, jeez. Go ahead.
But the first time was definitely really just a really cool experience because it was the biggest accomplishment in my life at the moment, just being 14 years old. And then the second time it was more so for all the other players on the team, and just kind of seeing like their smiles on their faces when they lifted it. It was just kind of really cool to see.
Going back to last year, I was standing up in the top, and there were some big time Flyers executives there, and you proceeded to score 10 goals in one game, in the championship game, which, as far as us Flyers Cup people know, is a record. Tell me, like, how does that happen?
I think kind of just like the overall feeling of being in a championship game kind of kicked in, and like the girls on the bench, obviously I could tell they wanted to win, and they were getting really competitive as well. So, I mean, I think my overall compete level kind of just kicked in and took over at that point.
That's awesome. All right, so in the beginning, I asked you if you did anything cool. All right, so go ahead, put it on. What does that feel like? First of all, have you washed it?
I have.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so for anyone who doesn't know, this past January, Ava participated on Team USA for the World Junior U18 Championships, which, comparison to all the boys are watching, is the same thing as the World Juniors, right? Is that what it's compared to?
Correct.
And you didn't only play. You were on the top line. You played on the power play. You killed penalties. How does this happen? How did this happen?
I don't necessarily know. I mean, when I got to camp originally, pre-camp, which was a week before the tournament started, I was on the third line. I wasn't on the power play. Was just scraping the penalty kill and kind of just put my head down and went to work, I would say. And then after our exhibition game against Czechia, next thing you know, I walk in the locker room. Next day, I'm back on the first line, and I'm put on the first power play because someone got injured. And at that point, it's just like own your role and kind of go with it because, I mean, tournament is really short. So you kind of just have to go with what you're given, and yeah.
Can I see it? Sean, you want to zoom in? Avery, you want to tell everyone what this is?
The gold medal.
The gold medal. Wow, that's really nice. Nah. We have some pictures. There's a TV monitor right there. Right, we're gonna flash some pictures up there. Tell what's like. That has to be the ultimate.
Yeah. So after we sang the anthem and got our medals, all that, first thing I did was I kind of just went over to my family and I went up to them and kind of just like smiled, couldn't stop smiling, and took a couple pictures with them. So that was definitely the first thing that I did. Oh, what an unreal picture. Yeah, this is definitely where like it all kicked in. Singing the anthem is where I was like, man, I'm a world champion.
Did you cry?
I didn't cry. But the feeling was so euphoric that I felt on top of the world. I didn't really realize it when I was throwing the gloves or kind of like going through the motions, but then like American flag around my back, gold medal around my neck, like just singing the anthem, top of my lungs, like it's just like an unreal memory that is never gonna leave. Another one.
Did you know I had these pictures?
No, I also didn't. I don't remember this photo being taken because we got off the bus and all the parents met us back at the hotel, and I walked in with the trophy. I don't really know how I had it or why, but was just on top of the world. Can't say I remember it being taken, but yeah. This was after my empty net goal.
Is that in the final?
Yeah. So once I got that puck at the blue line, I took the puck off the girl's stick and skated it down, and just like the feeling of knowing that like we won, like we were up 4-1, and then yes, that's still a big lead, but just kind of netting the empty netter is just kind of like, all right, we did it. Like it's done, we won. What a great group. These girls will be my friends forever. It's a memory that we all are connected by, and yeah, it's just unreal 3 weeks I spent with them, and some of my best friends were made here.
Now, how many girls from that picture right there age out?
I would say half, maybe over half.
So you plan on being in that picture next year and the year after too? Is that your plan?
Hopefully, yes.
And you didn't. That's great. You didn't know we had those pictures. So you're 15 or 16, and you're like, what's a day like over there in the world? Like, do you stay with your parents, or do you stay with your team, or like, how does that all work?
We didn't really get the chance to be with our families a whole lot, which is a lot in a situation like that, because like the compete level is just so high all the time and you kind of need an outlet, but they don't really allow for that. I mean, it's a short period of time, and I think at the end of the day it comes down to like what team is the better team and who's together more. So it forces you to kind of spend a lot of time with your teammates and get to know them. Like I didn't know half those girls going into it, and then come out and I know like a good chunk about them. And so yeah, like being away from your family for that long is definitely hard. You know, like you see them for like 5 minutes after a game, or we had one off day where we were allowed to hang out with them for like a couple hours, but that's really it out of 18 days. So it's definitely difficult, but the end goal is obviously a gold medal. So you do anything you can to kind of get there.
All right. So now I have some other questions for you. So you win, right? And then you all go in the locker room. Do they practice singing Mom Don't Cry? Like, do you practice singing that song before it happens?
No. We all kind of just, like, took a knee. Just everybody kind of followed each other. We all took a knee and put our arms around each other. And you just, I mean, everybody kind of knew it because the boys won it a couple weeks before. And so the video kind of just played, and it's a USA tradition. So I just thought, like, that was chills, kind of, like, chanting that out. And everybody kind of helps each other and leans on each other if someone didn't know it or something like that.
Did you have a potty mouth?
I did, but they beeped it out.
They did beep it out on social media, but for anyone who doesn't know, it's when the Team USA's win, they I think that's the name of it, right? Mom Don't Cry or Mama Don't Cry,
Yeah.
but it's an awesome celebration. So you are fully committed to Boston College,
Correct.
and that will be in 2 years?
Correct.
How does that happen? Like, look, you're one of the best female players in the United States. Like, do you just call schools and say, I want to come? Like, or do they, like, do you have a stack of mail in your house like this? Like, tell me, what's it like? Every college had to have made you an offer.
So they made a rule that June 15th after your sophomore year is when colleges can finally talk to you. So that was a crazy day. My day started at like 7 a.m. I think I had like 20 phone calls that day. So it was definitely an exhausting day and a lot to take in that day. But then after that, it's kind of like closing down your options, seeing what I really wanted. And then after that, it's figuring out what colleges I want to take a visit at. So I narrowed it down to 5 that I wanted to go visit. And then as soon as I stepped foot at Boston College, I just kind of knew that like that was the school for me and that's where I wanted to go.
Did you get NIL money?
I don't know yet, but
you got to work it in. Like, if you're going there, right?
Well, they did mention stuff about that.
Oh yeah,
because, like,
atta girl.
Yeah.
So you'll do 4. I assume you'll do 4. Is that your plan to do 4 years at Boston College?
Yeah.
I have to imagine the new professional women's hockey league is that your end goal? Is that your end game?
Yeah, I do think that the league's definitely like growing at a rate that I didn't expect it to. I think it's gotten a lot of recognition, and I think that for all girls coming out of college, it's definitely like a step in the right direction and a place that I would want to end up.
Like when you walk around buildings, the people ask you for autographs now. Did you have to sign autographs over there? Do you?
No, not really.
No one's ever asked you for an autograph?
A few people here and there. But
Well, here I have. Can I ask you for an autograph?
Sure.
You can just sign. You can sign right here above the line. If you want to read what that says up there, you can. But I just want your autograph. You can read it out loud if you want. Go ahead.
Ava Thomas promised to give my new best friend, Eric Ty, 2 free tickets to the first time I play in the Olympics and also a ticket to my first women's professional hockey game.
Yeah, and I'll just take your autograph right there. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Look at that. I got the first autograph, folks. Mine to keep, and I'm going to the Olympics. I said the professional women's league. I have to imagine the Olympics are an ultimate goal as well.
Yes,
like,
definitely.
did you figure out already what year you can go to the Olympics? Like,
yeah.
Like, is 2 years from now too soon, or?
Well, that would be the first year I'm like eligible. Yeah.
And is that a good possibility?
I think it's a possibility. Yes.
That's awesome. Ava, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Best of luck to you and all of your future, however this is going to play out for you. We wish the world the best of you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
All right.
Eric, what a player Ava Thomas from Downingtown West is.
And a better person.
Yeah.
A better person. She's just, I cannot say enough good things about Ava Thomas.
Cannot wait to see her play in the Flyers Cup tournament this year as well. So why don't we start revealing the brackets? Let's take a look at the girls' bracket. First up, it will be a 5-team bracket for the girls this year. 1, 2, and 3 will get a bye. 4 and 5 will play on March 6th. Let's take a look at the number 3 seed first. That is Westchester Henderson.
And the number 2 seed, Ava Thomas and her Downingtown West girls team.
The number 1 seed is Avongrove.
And that leads to the 4-5 game, which will be played on Wednesday, March 6th. Will be the 4 seed Conestoga versus the 5 seed Lower Merion.
And again, that game will be played on March 6th. You can see all of these games courtesy of the Flyers Cup YouTube channel, sponsored by Top Shelf Sports and Apparel. So, Eric, now it's time to take a look at the AAA bracket. This has been a bracket that has really been dominated by the APAC teams in years past, but maybe the most open and balanced the AAA has ever been this year.
I could not agree with that statement anymore. Before it used to be APAC, and then everyone else, was down a few notches. I don't know if that's the case this year. It's all anyone. It's anyone's game.
It's going to be a wide open field this year. Let's take a look at it. The number 4 seed is Holy Ghost, and they will be taking on the number 5 seed, Father Judge.
And then in the 3-6 game will be St. Joe's Prep versus Salesiano.
The 2-7 matchup. The number 2 seed is Malvern, and the number 7 seed is the upstart Devon Prep.
And the number 1 seed, LaSalle, will be taking on the number 8 seed, Perkiomen Valley.
So again, let's take a look at that bracket. Again, every game that you'll see on the Flyers Cup YouTube channel this year, sponsored by Top Shelf Sports and Apparel. Let's take another look at the AAA seeds. Now let's take a look at the single A seeds this year in the Flyers Cup selection show. Single A, pretty historically dominated by Westchester East, at least of recent. And we'll see where Westchester East falls in the tournament again this year. But they're going for a 4-peat.
Right. And before Westchester East, it was a Westchester Russin dominated side.
Yep.
So it's the Westchester teams have dominated here. I guess before we give out the games and the seeds, we can tell everyone it is only a 12-team bracket.
That's correct. Yeah, 12 teams in the single A bracket this year. And we'll start by taking a look at the 8-9 matchup, as the number 8 seed is Plymouth White Marsh, and they'll be taking on the number 9 seed, Unionville.
And then the 7-10 game will be Palmyra taking on the 10 seed Pencrest.
Springfield is the number 6 seed, and they will be taking on the number 11 seed, Westchester Henderson.
And the 5 seed Lower Dolphin will be taking on the 12 seed Radnor.
And then we take a look at the top 4 seeds here that will get a bye.
Here's where it gets interesting.
Yeah, it absolutely does in this tournament. The number 4 seed is Marple Newtown.
The number 3 seed Hershey High.
The number 2 seed
Drumroll.
is Garnet Valley.
And the number 1 seed Westchester East.
Well, the good news about that is I'm sure that will not spark any conversation.
I'm sure my phone is buzzing already, Michael. Hey, this thing went down to the wire.
Yeah.
Right? Westchester East and Garnet Valley have been 1 and 2 all year. Hershey sort of started down lower. They may be the hottest A team in the bracket. Marple Newtown's right there with them. Lower Dauphin and Palmyra, the 3 Central Penn teams in the top 7. This is, if Westchester East wants to 4-peat, they got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And Hershey's going to be gunning for him as well after making it to the final last year.
Right.
So let's take a look again at these single A seeds. So if you thought the AAA or the single A was tough to seed, now let's take a look at the AA bracket here on the Flyers Cup YouTube channel, sponsored by Top Shelf Sports and Apparel. Eric, usually the most competitive every year, the most wide open, the most balanced. So why would this year be any different?
This is, look, a lot of teams tune in to watch this show to see. This is the one that everyone always waits for. The AA bracket always seems to be the most competitive. Yes, there are 16 teams in the AA bracket this year. Most in any bracket. And I think when you see the games and matchups and the seeds, again, it's going to be it's going to be a battle of attrition. Whoever wins this thing, it's not going to be easy.
So shall we start the dramatic reveal?
Let's do it.
The number 8 seed is Central Bucks East. And they will be facing the number 9 seed, Downingtown East.
The number 7 seed, Lower Merion, will be facing the 10 seed, Cherokee.
The number 6 seed is Central Bucks South. And they will be taking on number 11, Avongrove. Here's where the drama starts.
Both ways, right?
Oh, yeah.
Five down to 1 and
Absolutely.
12 to 16. The 5 seed, Haverford, will be taking on the 12 seed, North Penn.
The number 4 seed is Downingtown West. And they will be facing number 13, Souderton.
It gets more dramatic now because everyone knows who the top 3 are going to be. It just depends the order. And I think people are probably on the edge of their seats here waiting to see if they're 14, 15, or 16
I was going to say,
right?
and on the other side of the
On the
bracket,
other
there's
side.
a lot of nervous teams watching right now.
The 3 seed, Boyertown, will be taking on the number 14 and defending AA Flyers Cup champion, Pennsbury.
The number 2 seed
Drumroll.
is Council Rock South. And they will be taking on the number 15 seed, Springford.
Everyone knows who the 1 seed is.
Well, the
now.
drama's going at the top.
The drama's going at the top. The number 1 seed, Penridge, will face the number 16 seed, Ben Salem.
That is such a cool story to me to see Ben Salem in the tournament for the first time in a long, long time after, just recently in the past couple of years getting their program back together.
Yeah, congratulations to Ben Salem. I think there's a couple other things to note in there. Cherokee from the South Jersey.
Yeah.
They're in there at 10. We say controlled chaos. We want chaos and upsets. I don't know if we get the upsets in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't, just say, what did they say, chalk?
Yeah.
If it goes chalk, the second round, brutal for these teams. Brutal.
And the other thing that always stands out to me in this AA bracket, particularly on that first night, or the night where everyone's flipping around to all the different YouTube streams and everything like that, there's always a couple of games that go to overtime. There's always a couple of games that have huge drama. Night 1 of the AA bracket might honestly be my favorite night of this tournament.
I think it's the following.
Okay.
Like when we have, right, so I guess I can spoil now. All those AA games that we just announced will be played on Tuesday, 3-5, March 5th. Right, so then the quarterfinals for AA and then the quarterfinals for single A are on March 7th. That's the fun night for me, March 7th. That's when you see the upsets, you see the overtimes. That's when it's buckle up your chin strap, put on your mouth guard, put on your big boy pants. It's go time.
If you can't make it out to any of the Flyers Cup venues, we hope that you do. But if not, make sure you stay tuned here to the Flyers Cup YouTube channel, sponsored by Top Shelf Sports and Apparel. One final look at the seeding for AA. Attention family and friends of Flyers Cup players. New for 2024, SFBN is offering player shoutouts on every Flyers Cup game live stream. Give your favorite Flyers Cup player their 15 seconds of fame. Here's how you can participate. Send $25 via Venmo or Cash App to the SFBN. Email the name and team of your featured player, the best photo you have of the featured player, and a 1 to 2 line script for SFBN commentators to read on air about your featured player to thesfbn@gmail.com. Once the payment and email is completed, SFBN will reply via email to confirm receipt, and you will see your player shout out at least once per game played. Any questions? Contact us, thesfbn@gmail.com. All right, Eric, your $25 is cleared, so you get to do your shout-outs here. But
I shout out you, Mike Sampson.
but it's such a cool thing that SFBN is doing this year because so many people watch these games, and we have such a great following on the Flyers Cup YouTube channel. And thanks to Top Shelf Sports and Apparel for joining us as partners this year. Just one of a number of thank yous we have to give out this year.
So many. The Philadelphia Flyers. This doesn't happen without the Philadelphia Flyers. The Atlantic District, all of our rink partners, you guys at SFBN, the other Flyers Cup committee members. This is a process. This isn't something that's been done in a 2-week period here.
Yeah.
Like this started in November.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've hit the culmination of it now, and now it's go time. The stuff these guys do behind the scenes, I can never thank them enough. The referees, the trainers, the scorekeepers, they all contributed. And like you said, Top Shelf Sports and Apparel, their store, you can buy your merchandise. The store will be open in minutes, 9 o'clock. The store, get your merchandise, order it, buy it. You can have it by the time your team plays their first game.
Yeah,
that's how quick it's going to be. This is it, man. Now our job's done now, right?
Right.
Well, your job's not done. You still have to call games. My job's done now. Starting March 4th, I get to watch hockey games.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one heck of a good tournament.
And Eric, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the great work that the crew at SFBN does as well. You hear all the play-by-play announcers like myself, Jordan Coons, and we all do our job as well. But nobody would hear us if it weren't for the great crew, a crew of so many people, great talented workers put together by Sean Kelly and Ari Bluestein.
Yeah, as much as it is a puzzle for us to put the tournament together, like games here that I am in constant contact with Ari.
Yeah.
Okay, like there could be 10 games on this night, 5 double headers or whatnot, and he's got to make sure he has the crews. And I can never thank you guys enough. Just probably the best decision we made was live streaming all these games for free. That way, obviously the crowds are still going to come, but the people who can't get there, maybe because of their age or their distance or whatnot, or they can't do the cold, litany of reasons, being able to watch the games with top-notch camera crews and broadcasters is one of the best decisions we ever made.
I don't know if these lights are an omen or not, but it seems like the chaos is about to begin on March 4th, doesn't it?
Oh, man. Mike, I can't wait.
Cannot wait.
I've said it several times. This is going to be the best one.
Yeah.
This is going to be the best tournament in years. It's I don't know if we'll have repeat champions at any level. It's good to see some names who've never had success in the Flyers Cup get the high seeds, like 2s and the 3 seeds in there.
Yeah.
It just shows the growth overall of everything.
For Flyers Cup President Eric Ty, my name is Mike Samso, reminding you that you can watch every game in the 45th Annual Flyers Cup on the Flyers Cup YouTube channel, sponsored by Top Shelf Sports and Apparel. March 4th, the chaos begins. We'll talk to you then.